This weekend has been an absolute palaver. Nothing went wrong necessarily. Well, I'm exhausted. So let's get into this week's pickups. Right, you join me on Sunday evening. What a weekend. Back to the weekly video. Right, what have I done this week? I had an early week games pickup, which you should be seeing before or after. Yeah, so I had a small vintage games pickup, which you'll be seeing in the next clip after this. That was all thumbs up, I think. I should have VR from Vinted. No, it's not turning up anytime soon. So, time of filming, that's been a week since it was even posted through Yodel. And on, I think Friday, it updated saying, oh, the parcel's taken longer than expected. Don't worry, it'll get to you soon. If it doesn't arrive before the end of November, so basically an entire month, you have 2 days to claim your money back. Wow. I don't know why that's so long. Like, sometimes it happens with InPost. I've had it before. I don't use Yodel if I can help it. Okay, so maybe tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday, I'll get an update. It arrived into our local town depot like 5 days ago at this point. It's ridiculous. So either something's damaged or someone's maybe accidentally lost it. I don't know. That is what it is. Sucks. What else have we done? Yeah, so that's been a bit of a saga. Because my wife really wants to play that. And every single day she's like, is it updated? Can you check it? Is the tracking updated? Every single day. I must have looked at that thing like 30 times this week and it just doesn't update. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah. So we did I got one game arrive, which I would have opened on camera. It's only a budget game that I just took a chance on. Just something from eBay. I watched it. It was only like $4.95, and then the seller, like an hour or two later, sent an offer for like $4.50 free postage. And I checked the app, and there's not that many copies across the UK. It's not. I wouldn't call it rare, just maybe uncommon. And it was like a day one edition essentially as well. So it wasn't like the base game. So I was like, okay, yeah, fine. Yeah, $4.50 free delivery. No worries, that turned up. I would have opened that, but I mixed them up with my contact lenses. So it would have been funnier, obviously, if I opened up my contact lenses on video and be like, what the hell's this? And then had to go and find my game because I completely switched them around. What game was that? Yeah, let's try and do it chronologically. And the game is Grid 2. Was that Race Day? Race Day edition, which I think was their day one edition. It came with access to 2 of the DLCs, I think. Whether they're still accessible, I have no idea. I looked up the wiki just for the sake of it. Turns out that I think there's like 8 to 10 DLCs for this in the end. I do have Grid. I think I've got it on PS3. Yeah, I do. I can see it now. And I've got Grid on Xbox 360, but I haven't got Grid 2 for either. I went on the wiki just to have a look, to see like the DLCs, a bit of information about it. At this point they're dropped Toka, so it wasn't called Toka Race Driver Grid like the first one was. It was called Grid 2. And then I think there was Grid Autosport after that. No idea how well acclaimed they are. But there was another one. There was like a limited edition exclusive, and that was I wrote it down like last week. I think it's a BAC Mono edition. You might be thinking, okay, cool, it comes with another DLC car. No, it was like over 100 grand or something. It was the actual car. You bought the car, got a copy of the game, and I think it came in like a special livery. Right, so that is, for collector's editions, that's balls to the wall, that is. You know, a figure is pretty rare, and they went with an actual car. So yeah, there was an edition where you could buy the car. I'll try and insert it somewhere in these few seconds somewhere, you know, and maybe with the price as well. So I did look into it. I thought that was insane. I don't know obviously how many were available, if anyone bought them, but I thought that was insane. I love looking up that kind of information, like what? But essentially, busy weekend. Had some stuff to do on Saturday morning, and I knew that Sunday day, today, I wouldn't be able to get out. So I did my stock check on Friday of my local stores just to see roughly what was what. Wrote down a bit of paper, just say this one's got this, that, and this, and they all had varying bits. The Stroud one, which is absolutely tiny shop, only had literally like 3 things, and there was nothing high value, nothing like incredibly rare. The only reason I would have gone there would be for a £1 PS3 dual charging station. I know that sounds really bizarre, but on my games room tour, like I said, they're fantastic controller holders. You know, you don't have a fear of a controller falling off the shelf, trying to lean it or whatever. They're great for that, and they're literally £1. I think I'm probably just going to order a couple of those and just pay the £2.95 postage, because some of them people are trying to charge like £5, £10, £15 for these things online. So I just get it from CEX, tested with 5-year warranty. Why not for like £3.95? It's insane. Same for the PS4, because obviously all these are recharge. They will typically plug in, and they are charging stations as opposed to the Xbox, which still relies on batteries, and you have to get a third-party battery pack. So yeah, I knew I had to go out. So we left at like, I had to take the little girl in the end, so my wife could get on with some things around the house, because it just doesn't happen. And you'll see, it was hard enough work trying to drag her around. 3 p.m. and she hadn't had a nap. So yeah, I'm gonna roll some footage that I took, and then we're gonna get back into here and just talk about it, what we did pick up, and go through those as well. So catch you in a minute. Welcome back to whatever part we are in the daily pickup vlog. I am going to do a small Vinted pickup. I need to do these kind of on the day pretty much when I get them, just because of Vinted. I need to confirm everything's okay so the seller can get their money. It's not really fair if I leave that too long, and after 3 days it auto completes anyway. So I'm going to get this open in a minute. I'm just going to go through how much it was and what we're hoping for, and then we'll actually go through the things individually. So I've written it down because I'm prepared like that. Bloody hell. Reads pad. Right, so this cost me £22.09 delivered. Came really quick. I'm sure I only did this Friday morning, and it is now Sunday morning of time of recording, so it's pretty good going actually. 22.9p, 7 games in 5 lots. So I think I needed to select 5 games to get the 15% discount or whatever they had on their profile. I did put an offer in initially. This was someone who was uploading singular games, and I kind of like caught them whilst they were doing it. And there was one game in particular that caught my eye, and I thought that's cheap. It's £2 and it's a £10 to £15 game. So I thought I'll stay here, and just, no one had bought it because they'd only put, I think it was because they put the condition as satisfactory. And that to me is, if the disc is only satisfactory, that probably means it might play, it might not. It's definitely not going to be trade-worthy. But I hung around. I put together a small bundle of things that I thought might be worth it. Everything else listed seemed to be good or very good condition, so they were clearly looking at things. Whether it's just the case or whether they're actually looking at the disc, I don't know. It's clearly like kids' games, maybe a partner's old games or something like that. And yeah, so I put a small bundle together, which then allowed me to message them. So I put in a cheeky 10% on top of the 10 or 15% that their page offered, and at which point they declined that, but then just rounded it up. It was only like 50p more, so I rounded it up to the nearest pound. I think it was £18 with fee and delivery. It comes to the total, and I just used the opportunity to say, have you got many more games that you're listing? I'm happy with that price, but I'll hang around. And they came back saying, I've just got a few more that I'm listing. I wasn't cheeky. I didn't say, can you send me a picture, just to see if there's anything good in there that I could get ahead of their listing. I just thought, right, I messaged them back to saying, no worries, I'll hang around for a bit, but I'm happy to buy this if there isn't any that I want to add. Now, at any point, somebody could have just came in and bought any one of these games, making my bundle irrelevant. So when that happens on Vinted, I didn't go through, oh, can you reserve this for me just in case? You know, I try not to be too desperate on these things. I jump it in, let them just get on with it, and if it goes, it goes. But it is very much those 5-10 minutes that I'm refreshing the page, refreshing, trying to keep up on everything that they're listing, just in case. Just in case it goes, your heart's in your chest, just pounding away, just like, oh god, oh god, oh god. I would like this bundle as it is. It's not bad. If something comes up though, I need to add it and buy it. But it was like Battlefield 4 for 360 for £3, FIFA game for £3, that price. So yeah, so if we divide it down across the 7 games in total, we come out at just over £3 a game. 7 times 3, 21, right? School maths. Yeah, so just over £3 a game. So that's what I'm using. And there is potential to come out of this voucher. I would like to keep a game. One of the games wasn't worth it, unfortunately, and I thought it might be worth more. I do have it, annoyingly. Keep a game, one of them's not worth it. So the 5 other games could come to £32 voucher. So £22 bought, keep a game, well, keep 2 games, and still come out a £32 voucher, potentially. That's if that Satisfactory one's any good. They're mostly kids' games, so there's a good chance they're going to be scratched up. They've just been left around, they've been manhandled, whatever. It is what it is. But let's get into it. I'll flip you around, put you on the proper back camera. Let's go. Right, hopefully I've got some sort of scene now. I've got like this little shelf here and I've got a few little bits set up. Very ad hoc. Let's get into it. I don't know if anyone likes MSR bag opening. I think this is wrapping out shop, right, okay. Oh, that's all it is. I'll get it out. Obviously it's vintage, so it's a mailing bag. There's no packaging or anything. I'm lucky that it's not a bag for life sellotaped up. Honestly, I've had controllers just in a bag for life sellotaped up. I've had consoles like it, all sorts. Vinted is the wild, wild west of postage and packaging, honestly. Because technically you don't actually get anything on Vinted for your postage and packaging. Obviously the buyer pays the postage, but yeah, you don't get anything towards your packaging. Okie dokie, I'll start with the game that I think I'm going to keep. Dirt 4. I'm into my rally games. I was really into Dirt 1, 2, 3 when they came out for the 360, and I quite like Dirt Rally. I had that on PC. Honestly, they're absolutely fine. Obviously not being a kids game, is it? And the latest like EA WRCs are pretty decent, to be fair. They kind of went a little bit into gymkhana, entertainment, fireworks and stuff. So I'm not quite sure which way this leans. Dirt 4. Is that technically after Showdown? So yeah, I'd like to give that a try. I think there's Dirt 5, there's Dirt Rally 2.0. That is on my list to get. So apparently it improves upon the original. So that looks good, and that is only like a £4 game CEX. And with our division skills, that's a £3 game today. So that's absolutely fine. That's the keep. Now, Paw Patrol on a roll. I don't think I'm going to show the kids any of these games because they'll be like, oh my god, I want to play it, and like 5 minutes later they'll be bored. I know my children. They're as bad as we are. Now it's obviously got a CEX sticker on that says 12. I believe that's now 10. Do they have a date on? No, they don't have a date on CEX stickers, unfortunately. Now it's a kids game, let's see. This trades in for 6, so technically double up. That looks absolutely fine. There's no scratches or anything on there. There's no damage on the spindle at all, so I'm happy with that. That should be a win. That's a double up. Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, a Lego game. Now they had these 3 Lego games up in one as one item for £8. So there are 3 of them, and £8 feels a bit lofty. Some Lego games, they're gonna be cheap, right? They're just Lego superhero games. Ugh. I'm not sure about the edge of this. There's definitely something going on right on the edge of this. Other than that, it looks absolutely fine. Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, is that a 5? Yeah, so that's a 5. I'm not sure there's a little bit of something on the edge of that. I'm not sure what that is, but hopefully that's okay. Superheroes 2, Marvel Superheroes 2. And I think that vintage listing was just called Lego Games, which is maybe why people haven't picked it up. There's a couple of marks on here, and I think that's just a bit of schmutz. Is that wipe off? Not sure. Hopefully. So again, hopefully that should again be okay. And that is another 5, I believe. Yes. Now, I don't know if this one has gone down in price over the last, when I ordered it and in the last few days, or maybe whether I was looking at how much it is to buy. Marvel Superheroes. I'm sure this was an £8 trade when I bought it, but it's a £6 trade. And, well, they're all in here, which is a start for Vinted, that is, honestly. Not too bad. A little bit worse again, but I think it's more, it just needs a very quick wipe. I don't think that's scratching or damaging at all, which is really good. So those 3 Lego games by themselves, I had them on there for £8, no one had bit. I hope I got them in, I probably didn't get any of those in frame, I was probably down here, idiot. There's a Deadpool in this one, oh, that's cool. I never had an interest in Lego games. I have got Lego Star Wars for 360 and the PS3, that's it. And these, yeah, £8, the trade value on these is 16. Obviously if I bought them by themselves, it would have probably cost me £12 to buy them. But so far, we are at our £22 trade. We bought this for £22, we have £22 trade, we have a free game. So I wouldn't be quite happy yet. This is the, no, sorry. This is the fail. Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition. Now, CEX differentiate this one on PS3. It's not expensive. It has gone down actually. I need the Gold Move Edition. There's like 3 different variations. I need the Gold Move Edition so I can play it on the move with the controller. I think I have this. This is only ATP trade because they don't differentiate at all between the Gold and the Standard Edition. Let's have a quick look. And by the looks of it, you can get it online for like £4 off of eBay. Now it has got the game add-on content DLC code on the back. I have, since the marketplace closed earlier this year, I've not tried to get any DLCs. I don't know if that's now dead and gone. I hope it isn't. I hope the DLC codes still work. If it is, that's kind of makes a lot of these games redundant. And again, this wasn't one of the kids' games, I assume, and disc is pretty mint. It's pretty good for a 360 game. Don't seem to be any cracking or any issues on top there either. So that's actually quite a nice one. I think I do have this, but I'll see what my copy's like and choose the best one. The problem with it being, you know, like a £4 game on eBay, postage starts at like £2.70 for an every postable, which eBay don't even let you do. I don't differentiate between a normal. Every normal is like £2.94. And I stay away from sending my games Royal Mail large letter, which is already still like £2 something or whatever these days, because you don't get any tracking. And the amount of times that it just hasn't turned up, whether it hasn't turned up or whether they're just lying, but I don't like it. If there's no tracking and I've got no proof that it's been delivered, I've got no idea where it is. I've had people chase me up saying, I don't know where it is. It might have only been 2 days. You know, it's large letter second class. I'd expect it to take 3 or 4. But people have said, I've not got this game, or it's not turned up, and because I'm selling something on eBay, it's therefore my fault, and I just have to refund the buyer. And it's as simple as that. They haven't got their game, I need to refund them. I'm out of game, and I'm out the money that's cost me. So, on low value games, you know, I don't bother trying to sell anything under £5 anymore, because if once you whack postage on, no one wants to buy it, and if you do free postage, you're getting about £1.50 for a game anyway. And okay, it's ATP trade, but this should be something that goes up slowly but surely, maybe. I think 5's getting some love now. I don't think it, following 4 obviously, it wasn't that well received, but I think it's getting some love. So that's in the keep pile. I'd call that acceptable so far, and this is the one that was labelled as satisfactory, and the case is damaged. I'm hoping that's the only reason, because if that's it, I can just do a case swap. CEX might even take it as it is. I've not got this, he says. I have got this, but I think the disc is absolutely done. They always tend to me, and I don't know why. Left 4 Dead 2. This is what got me onto the page and just looking to see what else they'd listed. There are like 200 things listed. It took it forever. £2. This is a £10 voucher. They list it for £15. I'm assuming you could probably sell it for £10 online, assuming it's in good condition and definitely plays. Again, I've decided not to bother trying to shift games which the disc looks bad, but I've tested it. Like I recently sold, I think, a Black Ops on 360 and the disc looked bad. I started the campaign and I started zombies on like the first levels, and I put that in the description as saying, look, I've started it and they both load. Beyond that, I don't know, the disc is poor, and therefore I put it under market rate. And then I get a message saying it doesn't even load on my Xbox. But you know, on old consoles, I guess, you know, the laser might not be strong enough anymore, and it might just not load full stop. So I just gave them a refund. It just wasn't worth it. So yeah, if this looked mullered, I am slowly building up a pile of things that I might send off to someone who does the cleaning. My CX do have a cleaner, but it's not like I can just take a load of games in and say, can you clean these for me? Or go in under the pretense of, can I trade these? Oh, it might be a bit rough, can you give them a clean? Yeah, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to try and take advantage of what they have in the store. I don't know how much it is to send a load of games off, but I assume the more you send off, the better value it's going to be. I've probably got a fair few games like that I do need to send off. Nothing of huge value, but there's probably a few that are 5 to 15. I don't know what can be saved, if I'm honest. But yeah, let's open it and have a look. This is either not going to play and we stop the pickup right here, or they just meant the case was done for and the disc is good, which doesn't matter because I've got enough cases. We've got a manual. I don't think any of these have pictures of them inside or of the disc. This was just a lady selling her partners in the kids' games. There's definitely multiple light scratches, and there might be the odd mark on the spindle. I don't think it's cracked at all, because once if a spindle's cracked whatsoever, they automatically won't take it no matter what condition the disc is in. I'll give it better than satisfactory for sure. Satisfactory to me is it's scratched, it might play, you're taking your chance. Now that I think is why it is mainly labelled as satisfactory, which is fine. I can transfer, the artwork isn't damaged at all. I can transfer the artwork, the manual, to another case. I've got 150 of them. There will be a low value item in there somewhere I can just transfer it to. I'm not sure if the light's going to pick this up whatsoever, so I'll move it around a little bit just on the off chance it does. But I would say that's borderline trade-in. I would hope that they'll be able to run that through the cleaner and take it. That's what I'm hoping. I think that is good enough. Bits of 360 case. Fair enough. So I'll confirm the seller. I'm happy, not a problem. I took a chance on that being the lowest condition level that you can sell on Vinted. Yeah, that's pretty good, to be honest. I think I won there. So if CEX take this, that bumps that to £32 voucher, 2 free games, one that I need to check to see if my duplicate, what condition that's in, and one that I'm happy to have. And that's not bad, £22.9p, 32 voucher. It's not a double, but I've got 2 games. That would, okay, forget about Resident Evil 5. Dirt would cost me £4. So it's not bad. I've put 20 quid in, I get 30 quid back. That's okay. As I said, I could have sworn that Marvel Superheroes was possibly an 8 a few days ago. It could have been a Thursday or something that I got these, because I swear the CX app updates maybe a Thursday, maybe a Friday, and that would have bumped it a couple more quid and it would have been a bit closer. But yeah. Back to whatever else there is in the video. Right, and we're back in the room again. Right, so that trip, I think that took 3 hours in the end. I went to the Cheltenham and Gloucester stores. I went to Cheltenham first, it's further away from me, so I could work my way back. And it did have the big thing that I wanted. So that stack that I took that you just saw a minute ago, I didn't want to trade it in at Cheltenham. I'd trade it in Gloucester where I was getting a thing that I could just exchange it for. But the Cheltenham one had a longer list. There's a number of things that I wanted to just check out or look at. And I always go in, obviously you have to go in blind if you're looking for like subsets. They don't list like 360 Classics or PS3 Essentials or Platinums if you're absolutely mad. All that kind of stuff, at least yet. I'm sure they will soon enough. So I walked around there and they had some nice ones on the footage you would have seen. What did they have? They had Star Wars Force Unleashed Ultimate Sith Edition on Essentials, no manual. Now, all of these Essentials ones were just out of my price range, especially when I was picking this up. The thing you'll talk about in a few minutes. I don't know if that's its own manual. Is that just a standard manual, or is that like an Ultimate Sith Edition manual? If you let me know, if anyone knows that, let me know in the comments. Maybe I should have picked it up and I could just put a standard manual in it. It would have been complete, because the standard game Force Unleashed 2 is like a £4 game, I think. And I traded one in like last week. So yeah, that would have been the one out of the bunch I would have picked up. There was God of War, the double pack. I think that's like £38. That's been in for a while. The other thing, obviously, even though the case is on the shelf, you don't know if it's going to be the Essentials disc. I know that God of War they've been there for a few weeks. I don't know if it's a good price, but I would assume it's relatively uncommon to come across it. So maybe the disc isn't with it. And the other one was New Vegas Ultimate Edition as well. I didn't check those two because I think they're 32 and 38. It's a bit too much for me at the moment. It would be nice to have them, or at least maybe I could have checked, but again we'll get to it in a few minutes. You know, funny enough, at 3:30, 4 o'clock, it wasn't empty, even though it was getting dark at this point. The weather wasn't great, it was cold. So I had a few PS3 bits from there that were on my list. 360, I had a few 360 bits in. I wasn't going crazy in depth. As you would have seen, I inserted either a small clip or a picture. I was carrying my daughter, and I had to carry her from the car. She fell asleep in the car a few minutes before we parked up, and I carried her for half an hour at least by the time we were finished, and she walked back to the car, thankfully. But yeah, I mean, 2-year-old, late afternoon, not had a nap. I'm not going to get her to walk, am I? It's easier to carry her. I'm working out, but fucking hell, excuse my language. That was a workout, especially when I'm trying to film like small clips or look at my list of carry-her bags in case you need something. I don't want a toddler tantrum in the middle of anywhere. So yeah, bit of a nightmare, but you got to do what you got to do. You know, I love taking her out. It's easier when she's nice and happy and she plays ball and she wants to carry a game for you. Although she typically drops everything, so that's not great. Anyway, moving on to the 360, they had, I think, like Metal Gear Solid HD collection. They had Need for Speed Carbon, the collector's edition on that. These are just on the shelf. A few bits and pieces. Generally went around the shop. We came across some Dragon Ball. They did have some Dragon Ball there. Not after any of them. I've updated my list. I'm after the Dragon Ball Kai series. None of those. They had a cool lenticular cover facing forward, which was Escape. I think that was a 5-year ago film, maybe 10 at this rate. Stallone and Arnie film. They had a cool lenticular on that. I don't think it was even a bad film either, but I'm not really picking up DVDs for the sake of it. Quickly went over Xbox One and PS4. They did have Dirt Rally. I'd like to pick that up, but they're asking £10 on Xbox One. Really? It's just like an 8-year-old game. I don't know how they can justify that, and I guarantee it's on Game Pass. Yes, to own it, you own it, but nah, not laying down that much. I know I've just picked up some games, but it is what it is. But yeah, so not too bad. Cheltenham's a pretty small store, but I went round and the queues was horrific, absolutely horrific. Apparently 4 PM is a time where people go in to buy phones. There's 3 people serving and 3 people buying phones. And I can only assume there's loads of stuff they have to run through if you're buying something like that. So that took ages. And the cool thing that I got out of it there was a cool thing. There was a reason why I went there, not just for those PS3 games. It was one of these bad boys. If you know what this is, let me know in the comments below before I tell you. Without having a listing in front of me, I'll put it up, at least a description. I think it is for the Cabela game hunting games. I think you can get them on like Wii and 360 and I guess PS3, because this is a PS3 Elite gun or something like that. Something like that, I don't know. Now, I was hoping it might come with a box. It didn't. I've been waiting for so long. This is a sensor bar. It comes with a sensor bar. No cables. Both of these are battery operated, supposedly tested. So I'm going to hold on to that receipt for when I do actually get around to these. I hope I don't need the game to test these either. That would be a pain. But yeah, this is £12. And I'm pretty sure online, if you want one of these, you're paying double. Now, I'm not sure, because now I know that this looks like it's... I assume, is it PS3 specific? No, it's got like the third party kind of like button things on, you know, on PS3s when you got a third party controller. I assume it's specific because of the sensor bar. Either way, yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was hoping for it in box, but not to worry. I'm hoping I don't need the game. That would be a pain. I am incensed. I'll need one of these proper cameras to record, because I've just been rattling on for 10 minutes about some of these pickups. And it turns out it had turned off. So I'm thinking about picking up this series, the WRC series. I played the first one a few days ago when I was testing a PS3 that I picked up. It wasn't very good. But I like my motorsport games, my racing games, I like rally. So I'm thinking about picking some of these up. They're pretty cheap on PS3. So looking forward to trying that one one day. Dead Space 2 limited edition. What's the limited edition include? Well, it includes another game. On the Wii came out the Dead Space Extraction, which I believe is kind of like an on-the-rails shooter. And the PS3 limited edition version comes with it included. So why not get it on here? Because it's a bit of a pain in the arse to, well, it's never come into a local on the Wii, so pick up on here. Happy days. It's a couple of quid more than the standard one. And you saw that on the video. Lost Planet 3. Now I've got 1 and 2 for 360, as well as one with the Lost Colonies, which is a bit of extra content. It's a bit of a hard one to find. And yes, continuity wise, not great now that I've got 3 on PS3, but I'll insert how much it is on 360. I'm pretty sure it's more. So hopefully I got myself a bit of a deal just getting it on the PS3, just getting it done. So it's not something, if it's a £15 game, it's not something that I'm going to spend £15 on. But 8, that's practically half the price. Maybe, might as well. These have all got the manual. Happy days. And then we moved on to my local, the Gloucester store. By the time we got there, it was gone 5 o'clock. And it's dark. You know, it's nearly winter, it's dark. It wasn't particularly busy, but it wasn't like it was super empty. There was the odd person coming in and just having a look around and buying something and whatever. The staff were trying to like tidy up and clear up. So they close at 6 on my local. And there was something specific that I want to pick up. So I'm just going to go through the few games I picked up, because there's nothing crazy that I was looking at. For PS3, because I'm not great for PS3, Aliens Colonial Marines. Now, hated game, absolutely hated game. I think this is one of the first games where, or was it Gearbox or Sega, whoever, got something like a lawsuit raised against them for basically blatantly lying in trailers. Because the game came out and it was just an unfinished, broken piece of crap. Not to beat around any bushes. So, bloody hell. It was bad. But I've got the figure for it. I'd like it on the PS3 because I've not got it on the PS3. And I keep seeing people asking like £10 for this. And you don't come across it. Like Alien Isolation and Alien, especially for PS3, you don't come across it often. Now, I still have outstanding on my list Alien Isolation Ripley edition for PS3. I've got one saved on Vinted. I know I can get it for like £12, 15 total if I include packaging. But I want to pick it up in person. I want it to come into stock, and I want to be able to go in, because I think games charge £5, unless it's gone up. A while back it was £5. I want to go in person and luck out and get that Ripley edition, because you get the standard game, you get the Nostromo edition, which is like the most common one I feel like, and the Ripley edition. The Ripley edition just comes with more DLC. Neither of those editions come with all the DLC. Isolation I'm talking about. There's still more DLC you need to buy. That is what it is. I picked up... Now, did I have some footage? I might have had some small bit of footage I put in. Now, they had a load of special edition DVD Star Trek films. But I wanted first contact, so I just put in Star Trek just to see what was in stock, for the sake of it. And it came up Star Trek Special Edition. And it's in like a little cardboard sleeve. Not in the best condition, but it is what it is. I love this film. Part scared, part love it. Because the Borg. Who doesn't like the Borg? And obviously Voyager is my Star Trek. So that was very Borg heavy later on in the series. So I did pick that up for £1.50. Not a huge outlay, but it's like, pick stuff up that means something to me. I have got this on Blu-ray, but it's just a standard Blu-ray case. Now they had like loads of the films, like special editions, all £1.50 each, and I was tempted. But none of them were like this one. None of them were like a cardboard sleeve. They're all like kind of like slimlines or something, or cardboard that opened out. But they're all the older films, and this is the one where the film where my Star Trek love started. If I had to associate a film with it, I think it's kind of like mid to late 90s. And this one, what is it? Is this Batman Arkham City? Yes, it's Arkham City for the PS3. I didn't even know what system this was in. It's for the PS3. Now you can get different variants of these on the back. I think the front's all the same, but the back one has a different villain on, or a different person on. Now this was in the pile to put out. The guy was literally going to put a small pile out, and I noticed, what did I see? I saw something like that on the sides. And I was like, is that a Batman Steelbook? And he said, yep, let's put it in my pile. I've dealt the guy a few times, but he clearly knew enough that I was going to pick up this for £2. I mean, come on. I did get it out because I checked it. I had a bad time the other week. Again, I was dealing with my daughter having a proper tantrum, and I picked up a Final Fantasy Lightning Return Steelbook for £18, which is what they charge for the base game, but a Steelbook on the shelf with the sleeve, which is amazing. I hate getting stickers off these sleeve covers. I was like, oh, it's a bit tatty, but you do not come across this just sat around a CX, you know, picking up for the standard price. You know, it's a pretty nice steelbook. This was the other week. It's broken. The spine's completely broken. Like, if you're not careful with that, it just comes apart and it's proper dented. I didn't take it out at the time. I literally didn't have any hands free. So gutted. Cool find, but gutted. So I did take this out just to check. It's £2, but just to check. Now, this one is the Joker one. You can see Joker on the back. I've picked up previously, I think this one. Now this one I got in Cheltenham CX months ago. Again for like £1.50 or something. Mint for the 360. Practically mint for a 10-15-year-old game with the sleeve cover. Really nice, and that one's got the penguin on it. So I'm really happy with that one. That's an incredible find, because you don't typically find steelbooks of that age in that nice condition. I want to say, ages and ages and ages ago, even further ago, I picked up this one, which again, I think this is, yeah, PS3 one. That's got, is it Catwoman? Now, obviously, being a man, that's the one that I would like in decent condition, but this has got your typical rusting. It's a degrading of the case at least, and it's dented, and it's no sleeves, in terrible condition. So technically I can put the sleeve on this one, but this one's mullered. I'd like to find this one. I don't know how many others there are, but I now have 3 variants of that, and 2 of them in decent condition. This one's got a little bit, it's going a little bit, but it's not heavily damaged, and for £2 you pick it up. So that is what it is. No, I didn't just press up twice, did I? Nope. Right, so I did trade all those games in, I forgot to say. That Vinted bundle that I picked up for £22, and added a Black Ops 2 that I had anywhere. I picked up for £1 recently, ages ago, whatever. That all successfully traded in for 35. Now I was dealing with a new member of staff, and it was taking a while. That's not their fault. They're new. They're trying to make sure they're doing everything properly, because I added in 2 DualShocks. So earlier this week, I picked up I've got a problem and I need an intervention. I don't tell the wife that I do this. If I come across a PS3 that's supposedly in working condition, or there's pictures of it working and it comes with DualShocks, and it's listed at £30, you better believe I'm buying it. It's as simple as that. I've got like 6 PS3s. I don't need that many. I've decided I do not like the Super Slim. I've got one that is somewhat damaged that I've had to buy a replacement hard drive cage for, and a side panel. That'll be getting sold. And the one that was in here with me, that'll be getting sold. Don't like it. Don't even care for the colour editions, the blue, red, whatever, white. Don't care for that. But recently or so, I have not fallen in love, but I have found a newfound respect for the original fat console. It's the curves, probably. But I think it just looks good. So it's original fat console, 2 DualShock 3s for £30. Now I was just scrolling on Vinted and I just refreshed or went onto the PS3 or electronics filter, and it popped up right at the top there, and that would have gone in seconds regardless. So I just went pay for, done, £34 and something p. Turned up really well packaged. Both DualShocks work, so I traded those in. Now I'm going to treat them as, say, £5 per controller. So I basically got a PS3 fat for, it's just an 80 gig model. I think that's part of the fun, especially when it comes to the fat models. You get the sellers on there, whoever they may be, typically just people clearing out their old stuff or their partner's stuff, or something's been sat in their loft. So they had tested it and take a picture of it working, but they didn't say the storage or anything. And there was no pictures of the USBs. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of one super cheap I'm going to pick up anyway, but there's 2. There's a little bit of a gambling aspect. Imagine if you pick something up for £30, £40. I picked a couple of these up now. Taking a gamble. If you picked one up and a PS2 backwards compatible one came to you, can you imagine for £30, £40 working? So there's a little bit of that. It's a tiniest percentage chance. Tiniest chance. I bet it's happened to someone. Let me know if it's happened to you. There's a small chance that you might get one, because I think they have 4 USBs on, and they're typically 60 gig models, I think. And CX want like 250, 290 for those bad boys. Now there's a 5-year warranty. I'm tempted, mate. So yeah, 80 gig base model, but it worked fine. Tested it with WRC on PS3. I don't know if they're strategically taking some pictures, but there's a bulge. I've got it here. I might as well pick it up, although they're bloody heavy. Clean. Obviously the faceplate gets gloss piano black. It gets scratched up really easily, so it's a bit scratched up. But if you don't shine a light on it, it looks absolutely fine. You can see right into the back, you can literally see a lot of the stuff here that keeps it cool, and the fan and whatnot. Looks decent. Nothing was caked in dust. I know it works and everything, but they hadn't taken a picture of, I'm not sure if it'll come across. That's not supposed to be bulging. It's not straight. And it is, oh, it's not missing feet. The amount of times I've got a PS3 that's missing feet or something. It's not missing feet. But I'm not sure if it's been opened. Now, to me, that's not a whack. To me, someone's opened this. I've not opened up a fat before. Sorry for referring to that, if it offends anyone. But that to me looks like they've tried to put it back together. They've tried to put the shell back on, and it's not properly like clipped in somewhere, and it's just like bulged. Right? It's gone outside of the clip rather than in the clip. But it works absolutely fine. Now this, I've forgotten what it's called. In like DVD drives, you've got your little like brushes, top and bottom little brush. Keep the rubbish out. It wouldn't eject it. It was getting stuck on the bottom lip of that. So I did have to push that down with a small screwdriver. It worked fine, but I need to mess with that little bottom strip of fabric there for this to work. But now that I have one that's working, but obviously cosmetically damaged, how strong I am, I'll have to smash it on a shelf. I would love to take one of those apart and repaste it, clean it out entirely, not mess with it at all, because cooling solution wise it's probably where it needs to be out. I don't want to put any holes in it. But yeah, I'd love to like repaste it. PS3s are incredibly simple, and I assume it's exactly the same for the PS4. To put an SSD in, just download the software off the side. PlayStation's like, yeah, go do it, mate. It is a software. Go change out the drive. Xbox, not so simple. But yeah, just put a nice SSD in there. I think that's what I have done with my PS3 Slim. Just put a 120 gig SSD that's lying around. It does improve things. It just does. And I think, off the top of my head, I think you can do it without breaking any stickers. Maybe not. So if I do get one from CEX, I'm not sure if I can do that and just keep the drive and swap back in if something goes wrong. Either way, circling back as I always do. You're not falling off, are you? No. So yeah, 2 £5 each DualShock 3s that are fully working, clean them all up and everything. They just do visual tests now, because they were confirming with the guy there, just because they have to like book it in, and they just do visual tests and they click all the buttons and stuff. Both of them had like battery on, so you can still see the battery is fine. So I tested them early that week. I always try and make sure I've tested it and I've cleaned it. I don't want to give them some skanky stuff. I'm in there often enough in my local that some of the staff know that I like collecting essentials and stuff and all that kind of thing. So I don't want to be known as the guy giving them like dodgy equipment or making them test stuff for me and saying, no, it doesn't work, mate. Stop giving us this stuff that you pick up and not test it yourself. So I tested it myself, clean it. And they took everything. I said the Left 4 Dead team might need it clean, and they were like, yeah, I'll do it now, kind of thing. And they didn't. They just put it in a sleeve. So I was a bit like, I hope they don't get in trouble, because it's clearly a new member of staff trying to do everything right. But you know, we're at this point like 5:30, 6:45. I don't know if they just didn't check properly. It wasn't like bad. It worked fine, but it's. I wouldn't have been happy picking it up from CEX. So I hope they did just run it through a clean. I'm sure it was fine. So that was 2 DualShocks, and that bundle came to £67 voucher, which is perfect. Not quite perfect. It would have been nice if it was more. But there was no rejections, which was nice. I hate getting rejected. And what drove me to that store that day, yesterday for me, was an item. Let's start at the beginning. My wife has been talking about VR for weeks, over months or two, saying, I really want to get one of these VR things. You know, can we get a PlayStation 5 and get one of these VR things? I'm just like, yeah, alright, love. You know, I don't know how expensive they are, but you're probably looking at the best part of 800 to £1,000. So I looked at VR, not outside the PlayStation ecosystem, I might add. And the PSVR, the original PlayStation 4 one, compared to the PSVR 2, the PS5, getting that as well, really affordable. I'll describe it as probably a good value option for trying out VR. And obviously they are like 7 years old now, but because it's something that you put on your head, obviously, but I think the band it can like flake, I guess, with your sweat, the oils in your skin, like the headset band can like start flaking and deteriorating. The lenses can get scratched. I don't know how people are doing that. Obviously, if it's not taken care of properly or put away, the lenses can get scratched and you're essentially just going to ruin the experience, right? So I was after one for a good price, preferably with everything I needed. Where was I? Yeah, so because of the issues with potentially getting something old that's all scratched up and whatnot, I didn't want to take a chance on something that was like just from CEX at least, like discounted. I think it's like 40 quid or something discounted. Just to preface something is, the original PSVR came in 2 revisions. There's the original one and the second one, which only has, from what I'm aware, just 1 lead from the headset. So I wanted to make sure I got that one. Weirdly, it's like £5 cheaper boxed. Don't know why. So I've recently picked up the aim controller. I picked up cheap from Cash Converters, and I've been picking up the PS3 Move controllers because they're compatible with both. And as and when I find them, when they're cheap, you know, £5, £10 or whatever. So I got Wizarding World here for like, what do we call it, £5 in that episode, and that's got a camera and move controller and everything. I picked up a box one just with the controller. Again, I think that was like £7. And I've got one. Does the Eye of... No, I don't think the Eye of Judgment comes with one. I think that comes with the camera. But either way, I've got like a navigation controller and I've got 2 or 3 move controllers. So for the full setup, at least for the PSVR and PlayStation 4, the move controllers, 2 of them, camera and headset. Got the controllers, but you were looking at £70 to £80. Now, my view is if I get it boxed, it should be very good condition in the box, everything there complete, rather than unboxed. I was looking at unboxed, but I had that kind of price there. So if I need those things, I'm looking at 70 to 80 quid. One popped up on Vinted with the description. You can't trust Vinted, but with the description, only taken out the box once. Box with camera for £70 delivered. And in theory it should be excellent condition, right? It's only been taken out, it should be excellent condition. No one's sweated all over it or deteriorated, degraded any of the rubber, the plastics, not scratched anything, not used it, and it should be excellent, like new condition. So for a touch cheaper, cash price at least, touch cheaper than CEX, click buy. That got dispatched a week ago, and Yodel was just not bothered. They've lost it or it's damaged. Don't know. I have to wait until the end of November if it doesn't. I have to wait for that long if it doesn't arrive before I can even get a refund, which is really annoying. So whilst doing my stock check on Friday, I saw that my local store had boxed PSVR Revision 2 and matching Revision 2 camera, at least, in stock. And the price of those together, £80. So if you see where I'm going here, £67 voucher, potential for this vintage one not to bloody well turn up. And I think roughly, if you're looking on eBay, it's about that much anyway. I don't think I was overpaying for getting the voucher system. So yeah, picked it up. Took ages. This poor new member of staff was trying to like go through the box, make sure everything was there. But it's like 5:45. The other member of staff was clearly getting a bit stressed out. It's been a long day, right? Previously, I have taken in a boxed Nintendo Wii with the blue inlays and all the cardboard inlays complete and everything, but the box not damaged or torn. The box had like staining on, so the box wasn't damaged, but cosmetically it was in poor condition. And they said, no, I can't take that as boxed. So that to me automatically says, I've not bought anything boxed before. That to me says, right, they're taken in, if it's boxed, it should be in very good condition, and it's obviously complete, and it's in its original box. So I had a very quick look at this thing, and I've not even used it yet. My wife has, because she wanted it. She's used it for a few hours now. So I'll give you a quick look at the box itself, and you can see that the stickers on here, £65. Boxed. Yeah, boxed. You don't get no game, no camera. ZVR2 2017, so I think that's revision 2. It's all ripped. Yeah, so you know, at least for my Nintendo Wii story, they wouldn't have taken this box from me, not on that day. It's not all ripped, but you know, that corner's all ripped, right? And then looking at the headset itself, not knowing what I'm looking for when it comes to the lenses, at least until I use it, the headset itself was just like caked in dust, and there was some deterioration, there was some flaking on the back of the headband. So, am I expecting too much? You know, I'm thinking boxed should correlate with very good condition. I know it's 7 years old, and maybe these things just go bad after using them for a few hours. But to me, it'd been. Doesn't matter how it had been left stored. Like, I assume it's been left out to get dusty. It's not just been put away in the box. You know, we've used this and we've not put it away in the box. dust isn't the worst issue in the world. You can wipe things down. And like with my controllers, I just give things a little spray and get a toothbrush in there. That's a really good way of getting in there. But the little like command box that comes with it, all that ventilation has all got dust all around it. I'm going to have to take a toothbrush to that. And no instructions, so technically not complete, not really, considering how much of a faff it was to set up. Even though there's only one cable to the headset, there's like another 8 cables to plug in, trust me. There's like a USB cable, the HDMI that goes into the box itself, HDMI goes to the TV, power for it, the camera obviously as a whole thing. So there's a number of cables there to add. I was just a bit like, okay, headset's not in brilliant condition, so I'll say, okay, I don't know about the lenses yet, I'll let you know next week. But let me know down below, you know, is box condition mean good condition, like very good condition? But you know, I said, if I've got an issue with it or anything, I didn't raise anything, it's too late in the day. My daughter at this point is wide awake and she's rolling around on the floor being an idiot. So I'm not going to stand there and cause any issues for anybody, but this, I said, you know, if there's a problem with it, you know, what's my period to bring it back? And they said, oh, because it's coming up to Christmas, you've got until the end of January. If you've got a problem with it, you've got until the end of January to bring it back. Now, that member of staff didn't say, oh, if it's defective, you've got until the end of January. They just said your returns is up till the end of January. Now, I'm not one to take advantage of things like that. Does that mean I can just use this for 2 months and then at the end of January take it back and get... She did say you will only get the voucher back. But then again, that's why I try and buy things with voucher, not with cash. So I paid £13 for this in cash, use that £67 voucher. Did say you get it back in voucher. So technically I can just use this and take it back in. Maybe. But yeah, it works. It took ages to set up. I just get the Move controllers charged. Now the PS4, once all this stuff is plugged in, the original one has only got one USB. I only had one cable because the cable's it's not a micro. It's like a mini. It's USB-B. It's a pretty obscure one. It's what the PS3 uses for everything. So yeah, it took ages to set up, hours and ages. I was so tired at the end of the day. I was just like, I just want to get it working. Why is it not working? And the DualShock wouldn't connect. Neither of my DualShocks would connect at all. I couldn't get anything connected. I had to like restart it all and just like connect like one thing. Got enough charge in both of these ones that are lit up. Thankfully, these motion controls that I've not tested before worked. And she finally got set up. We only got a week back or 2 weeks back. I bought the Star Trek Bridge Crew. She was like, oh my god, this is amazing. You've got to play this, babe. You've got to play this. I was like, it's like once it's all set up and it's all charged and you've worked out a good position to play it, because I'm not going to recreate it, but it's funny as anything. You have to press buttons and stuff, but they're all like, she's like all down here, all in her lap trying to press buttons with these Move controllers. I'm sure she needs to adjust some stuff. But it looks pretty funny playing it. But it looks good. So yeah, really happy I've got this. And I think I worked out that if you treat the DualShocks as £5 each, and that vintage pickup was like £22, I worked it out anyway. I worked it out. Basically, I put £45 cash into that. Oh yeah, with the 13. So, that makes sense? Yeah, it does make sense. So the cash I paid, treat the DualShocks as £5 each, and the £22 vintage pickup, I paid £45 cash for the PSVR Vision 2 and the Vision 2 camera, which would be 80. So that's not bad. I'm happy with that because, like I said, they're on Vinted. They start at like 50, 60, especially if you want a box, right? Discounted, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get it for like 38, 40, but £45, that's not bad with the camera. So yeah, happy with that. And then because most of that was voucher, if we do get this one on Vinted and it is like new, I can take this back. I'll just say, look, I'm not happy with it. Here's what it is. And that comes on to Star Trek Bridge Crew. So, my wife played it for a couple of hours last night. Came home today. I want to play a little bit more before I need to go out. I'll take the kids to the parents for a couple of hours for dinner. But I want to play it some more. Can you set it up for me whilst I get ready? Like, yeah, plug things back in again. Get it all working. And just like, oh, it doesn't save on progress. It says I've got to do the tutorial again. Like, don't have to. I just skipped it, but I've got to start at mission 1. It didn't save. It didn't work out how to save yesterday when I was trying to turn it off. And so I googled that. 7-year-old game, fair enough. But Ubisoft dropped all support for the game. You saved via Ubisoft. Before wiping their freaking hands of the game, they didn't make a change so that you could save locally. So every time you load up the game, thanks Fireworks, every time you load up the game, you start again. Now, thankfully it was like a £5 game, but no, I've not played it, but I'm not aware of just they didn't open up the mission selector or anything, I don't think. I'm pretty sure you have to play through all the missions. Because I'm pretty sure there's some cool ones. I've not looked through the list of them or anything, but now I literally found this out a couple of hours ago. It doesn't save. Every time you start it, you start again. Which, really annoying. Really, really annoying. I really want to play that game. I want it to be good. Just imagine if you could do, 7 years later, a proper open world Star Trek game, right? That's not Star Trek Online, but like a proper one for console and everything, or even VR. Bridge Crew 2. So awesome. Yeah, so that was a biggie. So we did buy those games that I showed you with cash, and we put a little bit of cash on that PSVR. So last week in my weekly video, I showed you a few bits that I was going to sell from sorting all this out. There is going to be some more stuff, and because I clearly have a problem when it comes to PS3s that are cheap and vintage. I've got a few too many of those, and because I would like a white one, and if one popped up locally, a red one, I don't need like the standard consoles. I don't like the Super Slim, so I can get rid of those. I'll keep my Slim that has got the SSD in it, and I'll keep the original one I've got up here, because I think it's a bit of a, I don't mind it as a display piece. I know that it does work. And I'd like to open it up now that it's got a bit of damage to it. I don't mind opening it up. So this last week, I did my eBay balance last week, and I think it was like £80. My voucher balance has changed, because obviously I traded that stuff in this week and got rid of the voucher immediately. So that's not changed. I think that's still at £182. My eBay was at like £80. So I sold a few things last week. I think a Lord of the Rings art book, I sold that cheap that my wife had, because like the edges of the pages like deteriorated. That's going abroad somewhere. One of the kids' plushes for like £5. What else? What's just sold that I need to package up was the Spares Repairs Mega Drive. That's very clearly in the description, so I hope they don't say, oh, it doesn't work. That was literally only £15. And I sold 2 big items. So I didn't do the footage in the end. I took a little bit of footage of what I've got in the loft. And I had a Wii Sports Resort Motion Inside, not Motion Plus, Motion Inside console boxed. It didn't have the stand. It didn't have like the actual inlays. It had the blue things, if you know your Wii stuff, the blue things that go in the box, but not the actual inlays. And it's missing the stand. So I tested that and got that listed because I've got the red anniversary edition. I'd rather have that than the Wii Sports Resort one. It's cool, but I don't need multiple ones. Just have to sound the loft. So I think I sold that for 50. I put it on for 55. Oh dear. I put that on for 55. Sold it for 50. Not an issue of that. I'm not an eBay seller or anything. I'm not like a shop or whatever. And I sold a PS3 Slim that did have. Was there any issues with it? I don't think there was. I think I had it running for a few hours actually, with a DualShock. I don't know. There wasn't any issues with it. It worked and everything. But cosmetically, like the top of it was like there's a load of like marks on it and stuff, so it wasn't cosmetically the best. And I had a DualShock 3, which also wasn't cosmetically the best. It was missing the rubber bits on the thumbsticks, all working. So I sold that probably somewhat cheap, because PS3 seems to be about 40 to 70 quid right now, whether it's a bundle or whether it's just a console and a controller. So I think I got 45 or 47 for that. So my eBay balance is like 175 at the moment, which is amazing. I can nearly get this DJI Osmo Pocket 2 thing, right? I've already lost footage on this thing once because I can't see the screen. I'm recording on the back of my phone. I've already gone to turn it off, and it's been off the whole time. I've already lost like 10-minute segment of this. It's really annoying when I've got a very limited amount of time to do this on Sunday evening. So, but I've been paying out money for things, right? And it's coming up to Christmas. We're on a 5-week month. I'm going to have to take some of that eBay balance out anyway. I've added things to my collection. I've got some more bits and pieces to sell, like I say, but I need to take probably half that out. So we're probably going to go back down to £80 or £90 anyway. I would like to get this camera soon, but not for the sake of just spending a load of money or putting myself in any debt or anything, especially leading up to Christmas. This is half of my wife's present, definitely. She doesn't know that yet. I mean, she wants like an expensive like £40 advent calendar. Between that and this PSVR, that's her Christmas sorted. Right? Right? I hope she doesn't know this yet. She doesn't watch these. It's fine. She's not getting anything. Yes, I'll take half that out. I'll sell the Super Slim. Again, that should be 50 quid. It works with a DualShock. And none of it's going to be listed anytime soon, I guess, but a few other bits and pieces, right? I've still got a box of stuff in the loft, which I took down from my shelves. I need a way. I've got a number of strategy guides, right? But if you put a strategy guide just stood up, they're paper, you know, they're going to like bend. And over time, they're going to deteriorate. But I don't want to put them flat. So I need a way to store them nicely, hopefully stood up. So I'm thinking maybe, you know, like a folder holder or something like that. You can usually put like a couple of like clip folders in, maybe a couple of those. Won't look the best though. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I can do for strategy guys, or anything that's like paper. I don't want it to like fall over and stuff. But other than that, yeah. So probably a bit of a long one of my waffling as usual. Weekly ones tend to be like that. I'm trying to take you through everything that I've bought, looked at, any issues that I've had, any you know, the things that I've sold to try and fund the things that I'm after. And yeah, so probably a long one. I hope you're enjoying the content. I hope the lighting's not too terrible. It's night time, unfortunately. Here's what it is. I'll do my best to edit this and put it all out. Maybe Monday evening, maybe Tuesday. And we'll go from there. Anyway, until next time. That's bad, the lights have just gone out. Until next time, just, you know, keep playing the games, like and subscribe, leave some comments down below. Thanks for watching.